There you go, 1 stone for an emerald, which is absolutely insane price, of course. Hey guys, welcome back to iCraft MC. In today's episode, we're going to be doing villager trading and getting the villagers with the best trades. But before we do that, we're going to make today's banner of the day. Today's banner starts with a blue banner and yellow dye. The yellow dye is going to be a flower charge, and you make a flower charge with an oxeye daisy and a piece of paper. Then we're going to go on to a blue bend sinister, which is this shape right here. Then we're going to go on to a blue per bend inverted, which is this shape right here. Then we're going to go on to a cyan base gradient, which is this pattern right here. Then we're going to end off last but not least with an orange rondel, which is this pattern here. And you can see what that makes. It's a tropical fish in the ocean. I thought that was a really cool banner. It's cool to see animal banners. And I thought it kind of captured the fins of the fish really well, as well as the color of the ocean, which I thought was really cool as well. So we can put that next to our other ocean banner there. And there's a tropical fish banner. And if you guys see any banners here that you really want to make, I actually have a playlist and tutorial on every single one of these banners here. Anyway, on to today. We're going to be going to the village and doing a bunch of trades, so I actually already have all the items there, so we're just going to fly over. But yeah, I think it's important in this world just to get all the best trades possible as soon as possible so that we can just start getting things like, the best armor we can get. We can start getting, emeralds in bulk, things like huge amounts of brick blocks, things like that that can only really be gotten from huge amounts of villager trading. So you can see here that we have certain villagers here that are ready to be zombified. I haven't zombified them yet, and basically, if you want to know how to make this villager zombification station here, I do have a video on that, as well as a video on this villager breeder. So if you want to know how to make either of those, I'll link that in the description. But yeah, what we're going to be doing today is zombifying a whole bunch of villagers, then picking out their trades, and sending them over here for their prices to be reduced. So for instance, these guys already have reduced prices, and you can see they're selling this for only 1 pumpkin instead of 6 for the emerald. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to do a whole bunch of villager zombification, and then I'll show you guys what the best villagers are to get for trades, and how to get those easily, as well as their workstations. So I'll be right back. Hey guys, you gotta see this. I just zombified the villagers the first time, and you can see one of them is in full gold armor and one of them is in full chainmail armor, which is really funny. If you do want to know how to do the villager zombification and healing process, I do have a video on that, which I'll link in the description. Yeah, it's quite funny. It is very rare for them to do that. Anyway, I'm going to get back to zombifying all these guys, and I'm actually going to be zombifying these particular guys 4 times, because these are going to be turning into stonemasons. So I'll be right back once I do that. Alright, so the villagers have finished zombifying. Now I'm just moving them over. I decided to zombify them 4 times. They may end up needing 1 or 2 more zombifications, or I may have zombified them too much, but every time you zombify a villager, their price is lowered by 1 emerald. So basically now all these guys' base prices will be quite cheap. Now what I've done is I've brought over the supplies to craft a lot of different tables for these villagers, so that we'll have a variety of different villagers of the best types, and we can get the best items from them. So the first one we're going to do is the brewing stand, and then we're going to make a whole bunch of lecterns, as well as a whole bunch of stone cutters. And basically the reason why we want these is that these are the workstations of several very important villagers. So for instance, we're going to test out the sale by putting down a lectern, or not a lectern, but a stone cutter in front of this guy. Let's take a look at his price. Once he latches on, we'll just place a few until one of them picks up on it. It might be too late. No, it doesn't look like it's too late for this, so we'll just throw some of these down, see if one of them picks up on it. Sometimes it'll take them a second. But yeah, once they got the trade, then they have the trade, as long as they can, of course, work at their workstation. And these villagers may be a bit disoriented after being moved, but anyway, the lecterns are going to be also making librarian villagers, which these tables will, yeah, like this, you'll see they're selling something. Now that's actually pretty good. Infinity for 1 emerald. You can see the zombification certainly worked. The thing is, I'm not actually sure if I want infinity, so I'll have to see about that. I do actually have a mending villager around here, but he doesn't have a sale, and you can see here, well, you can't see the trade yet, but when I trade with this guy once, he'll have a trade that's 1 stone for an emerald. So there's some really good trades here. Basically what you're going to want to do is you're going to want lecterns, stone cutters, and brewing stands. Now brewing stands I want personally because they make clerics, And this is a really good rotten flesh trade since I have a gold farm, so I have a whole lot of rotten flesh. Makes it really, really cheap emeralds. And also they sell lapis and bottles of enchanting, which are both super, super useful. Same with these guys, the stone trade is a really good kind of make money quick trade, but in terms of trades for items you get, the lectern is what you really want to be looking for, because that's how you get things like mending, basically all enchanted books. And yeah, so we'll take a look at what this guy got. Looks like nothing. Now I don't think I have this, I'll have to break this with silk, or no, I don't think you have to do silk touch. Yeah, no, apparently lecterns do not need silk touch, so Curse of Vanishing, yeah, that's a great book to buy, but you know, they literally go through every single one except for soul speed, so you can see again, prices are down to basically 1. A few of them might be a little bit more expensive overall, but these guys should be zombified enough, and you can see when I haven't traded with them, they'll just lose the trade instantly. So I can just kind of work with these guys until they get the trade that I want. So the trades I'm looking for specifically are unbreaking for these guys. Multi-shot is not unbreaking, as well as efficiency and possibly silk touch and just a couple other good ones like that. Now the cleric I may not keep for now since it is just one to make money with. I can also get more villagers eventually, but yeah, of course it does take time to zombify. It took me about 30 minutes to get all these guys zombified, maybe 40 minutes, but yeah, there that is. So that one's a good one. We can also trade with this guy. I think we'll get some stonemasons probably, like this one, because again, stonemasons are a really good make money trade. I might just get 2 of those for now, since I don't actually have a strip mine with me right now, so I don't have a super good way of making stone. I mean, of course I could always smelt it, but oh, mending, that is perfect, and I'm keeping you, so that's amazing. Yeah, we do actually have a second mending villager, but the mending is not on a sale price. So I'll just trade with this guy once, and then, yeah, there we go. That one will never lose its trade, which is perfect. So there's the mending villager. We may as well keep the cleric for now, since we do have all this rotten flesh. Something you may notice is that the price is not all the way down to 1, which is not good, but it's not too bad, because basically what we can do is we can just zombify this guy more later on. So just put this specific villager back 2 times. And you can see also this gold for an emerald trade's really good for me as well, because again I have a gold farm. So I would say if you have a gold farm, cleric is probably one of the best villagers to have in terms of making money with villagers. And if you just have like kind of standard stuff, I would say masons, since you can't see it yet. And in fact, I'll just unlock it right here. But you can actually get, let's see here, once it upgrades, there you go, 1 stone for an emerald, which is absolutely insane price, of course. Basically, you can't get anything better than that. And that's literally probably one of the best trades in the entire game. So, if, you know, of course, 20 stone for an emerald may not be such a good price overall. But when it's down like this, it's really, really good. And again, sometimes like this, they won't latch onto a trade really quick, but you can always put down another thing. I'm going to try and get unbreaking with this villager right here. And this one's trade hasn't reset quite yet. Actually, looks like it's almost bedtime. But yeah, it does take some time to go through the whole villager trade thing. But I'd say, like, you know, certain trades, once you have, you know, certain items like, for instance, a silk touch pickaxe, or a gold farm, or even just a pumpkin and melon farm in terms of like these guys, right? You can make emeralds extremely, extremely quickly. But actually, not only emeralds, you can also make experience really quickly too, which overall can be almost more worthwhile, since something like a mob farm is great, but also you have the issue where you have to go all the way over to it, whereas with this you can just, you know, trade with this guy a bit. I get enough experience, heals my pickaxe quite a bit. I mean, not all the way, but definitely heals it quite a bit. And so, let's take a look at this guy. Sometimes they won't reset for a while. So like this one, this isn't a trade we want. We want a thing. It's actually interesting how this librarian, the lectern, does not need silk touch, whereas the bookshelf themselves do, which is quite interesting. So I'll just keep breaking this, and again, this is just kind of the endless loop of villager trading, which is breaking and replacing. In terms of these guys, obviously some villagers don't have that at all, but yeah, these guys particularly are like that quite a bit, so we can go through that a bit more later. This one hasn't been traded with yet, so we'll just buy a whole bunch of bricks, and this brick trade is actually a lot better than you would think, because bricks can be quite difficult to get. And so if you want to build with bricks, you can get them really, really easily through these guys. But of course, the stone for an emerald trade is probably the best. And once they're upgraded all the way, there's a lot of other good trades as well, just like with this guy. So I think all these will be the villagers I keep for this. I think I've all traded with them once, except for this guy. Oh, second mending villager. I would, but I really don't need it. It's actually funny, that'd be my 3rd mending villager, since I also have a mending villager over here. Now, something to take note of, is if you're trying to get a villager's trades to be cheaper and you already have a villager that you've traded with, so like let's say for instance this stonemason over here, there is a chance that they will not lower their prices when you zombify them. They probably will lower their prices, but they sometimes don't, so it's always better to zombify them before you trade with them, because then you're guaranteed that they will lower their prices, so that's always something important to take note of. And again, with something like these lectern guys, there's no real trick to getting the right book other than just breaking this and replacing this. So, yeah, I think we'll probably just keep trading with these guys a lot. I actually have some stone. Let's see where it is. I don't think it's over here. Let's see if this guy's reset yet. No, not quite. The stone trade's really good, though. And I'm just going to go to my strip mine. Actually, I don't think my strip mine, but my storage for that. And just get a bunch of stone. As well as putting away my banner pattern, since I actually forgot to do that. So, I'll put that away. Yeah, tell me, I'd love to hear from you guys what you think of this video. If you enjoyed it, it's not done yet, but if you are enjoying it, make sure to press the like button and make sure to comment. Tell me what you think of it. Tell me what you think of, let's say, villages or videos with villagers. So, yeah, anyway, I think I'm going to go down here and get the stone. I believe the stone is in this chest right here, so we'll just grab some of that. Again, I don't have a whole lot, but eventually, once I've done more strip mining with my Silk Touch pickaxe, then I'll have more, since I did most of my strip mining before I had my Silk Touch pickaxe. But now that I have the Silk Touch pickaxe, I can do that a lot more, and also get a whole bunch of smooth stone in the process, right? Because with this trade, you're literally looking at 1 stone for 1 emerald, which is just super, super awesome. So, we'll go over here, let's see if this guy has gotten something good. Protection 4, that is very tempting, especially for 1 emerald. But because the price is 56 emeralds, it may go down. Still, though, I'd be pretty silly to give up that chance. So I might just keep that thing there for now, and then if I eventually want something else, I'll change it, because, yeah, Protection 4 is really good. But as long as you don't destroy the workstation, they will keep that trade. They just may not. If you break the workstation, they will lose the trade. And of course, every time these guys interact with their workstations, then they reset the trade as well. So, yeah, like with these guys, we can trade with them now, get all that. You can see, again, super huge amount of experience you get from this kind of thing. Mend all your tools up, which is really nice. You can see stuff like this, even like 1 andesite for an emerald's amazing trade as well. Like this guy, yeah, actually I have now all 3 of them, which is somewhat rare, so that's actually really good as well. And you get 16 trades per one of these guys, so these guys upgrade a bunch more. Like, these are decent trades, not the best. Their final trades are always a little bit lacking, but they're still pretty good. And this trade here is also really good. So I'd say Mason's overall a really good villager to have. I think these guys would actually just upgrade if I just bought 1 stack of bricks from each. Let's take a look. Perfect. Yeah, now you can get quartz as well, which I suppose could be useful. Sometimes these terracottas here are quite useful because these can be harder to get. And of course, something like these 3 trades here now, I can get tons of that. So, yeah, too bad you aren't zombified. I could have a 3rd mason, but, yeah, let's see this guy, the protection 4 and the mending, as well as this. So I think I have some gold in here, actually, I brought just for the trading. I wonder if I should get a Fletcher going, actually, because what's cool with the Fletchers is you can have stick trades, which is a really, really good trade, because sticks overall are obviously quite an easy item to get, especially very early game. And also, whenever I'm trading and I throw an item on the ground like that, it's actually okay, because these guys will not ever pick up an item other than emeralds, bread, and a few other plants like that. So it's pretty good. And I think 1 more trade on this guy, and then there'll be a bottle of enchanting, hopefully. I'm not sure exactly. It looks like I'd buy glowstone, actually, or ender pearls, which would be useful at some point, I suppose. Definitely not now. I wonder how much experience I get for the ender pearl trade. Quite a bit, actually. So if I just buy 3 of those, even though that's a waste of money, I can get this guy upgraded as well. So yeah, there we go. This is an amazing trade. These bottles of enchanting are super, super useful. Plus you get experience 2 ways with them, because when you're buying them, you get experience. And once you have them, you get experience from them. So you can definitely see how villagers like this can really get your world to the next level overall, because again, stuff like this, some of these trades are rather overpowered and they can really get things going well. Now, something interesting to notice is that this is now gone to 6 rotten flesh instead of 7. That's because when you're trading with villagers a lot, they'll actually lower the prices sometimes, or sometimes raise the prices of certain things that you buy a lot. It's actually interesting. Sometimes, you know, you'll trade with a villager and they're like, oh, I'm glad you traded with me, I'll lower lower the price. Sometimes you'll trade with villagers and they're like, oh, I didn't want to buy a bunch of those, so they'll actually raise the price. They can kind of cheat more money out of you, basically. So it's always important to look at that, especially when you're working with numbers such as, you know, 1 item for an emerald. If it goes up to even 2 items per emerald, that's technically 50% more expensive. So you want to be sure that you don't do that. Same with this bookshelf trade, actually. This is an amazing trade as well, because bookshelves can be actually decently hard to get. So you can get a lot of those as well. Hey, this is kind of a short video, but hopefully you guys enjoyed that video on some of the best villagers to get in the game. Some other ones I didn't mention are ones like the Fletcher. That's a really good one. And another good one is the Fisherman, actually, or that's with a barrel, because the Fisherman gives you buckets you can buy a lot of, which is really good. Anyway, hopefully you guys enjoyed that video. If you did, make sure to press the like button. Make sure to subscribe to see more content like this. And me, and hopefully all these villagers, unless they get killed by zombies, we'll see you in the next episode. Goodbye!